Before we start, I'd like to thank the Kerala IT Parks team for giving us this platform to present our insights on this topic. Moving on, I'd like to introduce my company, Nuvento. Nuvento is a digital services and consulting company that helps enterprises navigate the complexities of digital transformation with modernized solutions that are built using their data and are hosted on the cloud. Headquartered in New Jersey, Nuvento was founded in 2007 by Suraj Adukil and Manoj Maneyathumariyal, who at the time realized the massive potential of enterprise data and went on to build an organization that primarily focused on enabling businesses with the power of their own data. 15 years later, we are a company with a presence in 4 countries: US, Canada, UK, and India, with over 450 people and growing, building solutions that are intelligent, scalable, and powerful, enabling enterprises to realize their complete potential and exceed the end customer expectation. We mainly work in the domains of BFSI, healthcare, education, and public sector, but are not limited to them. Our marquee product is a student educational health record platform named EduHealth, which today has close to 150,000 students and are enabling school health teams in the US reduce medication errors and ensure a safer, more secure environment for students. Apart from this, our AI-based OCR solution, New OCR, has been simplifying claims document management processing for several insurers in the US. Some of our major customers include, but are not limited to, Farmers Insurance, Americo, Yellow.ai, SEW, H&R Block, North Kansas School District, Pocono Mount School District, and South Brunswick Township. Next, let me talk about the speaker of the event, Mr. Nishant Pawar. Nishant is our Global Services Delivery Head. He plays a critical role in designing, building, developing, and managing the delivery team, mentoring team members to deliver customer success through delivery excellence, and provides a robust framework for growth as we scale. Nishant brings around 1.5 decades of experience and expertise in aerospace, medical, digital, banking, and other domains as a business leader. Nishant's expertise includes program management, global delivery management leadership, business expansion, sales-driven advisory, and consulting. Nishant has completed his engineering in electronics and communication and holds a postgraduate diploma in advanced management in international business. He has done his PG in artificial intelligence and machine learning from NIT Warangal, and he holds an active PMP credential from PMI along with ITIL certification. He currently lives in Bangalore with his wife, kids, and mother. Welcome, Nishant, and thank you for agreeing to share your wisdom and insight with us all. With
Thank you.
that, I'd like to hand over the stage to Nishant. Over to you, Nishant.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Susan, for the introduction. It's my pleasure to be part of this forum and to be interacting with some of the greatest minds from Kerala and across the world. So truly thankful to Kerala IT for having us hosted on this platform and the forum. So looking forward for the very interactive and electrified session going forward. Once again, thank you so much, Kerala IT and Susan, for the introduction.
Yes, you're welcome, Nishant. Nishant, nowadays we keep all talking about, digital transformation rather than enterprise digital transformation. Can you please tell us what exactly is digital transformation?
Uh, that's a great question to start with, and very apt way to set the context for the next 45 or 50 minutes. I would like to split your question into 3 parts. First thing is what's digital. Second thing is what is digital transformation, and the third thing is what is enterprise digital transformation. Okay, so having said that, first thing first, what's digital? If you, if you remember, or if you keen to listening to some of the tech savvy guys or people around you, many people talks about we have shifted from analog to digital, we have moved from manual to automatic, so all those stuffs. So earlier we had the watches with dial, with the needles, where we had electromechanical parts which are really and actually physically moving. But nowadays, if you look at, we have digital watches where you don't have any moving parts, you don't have any wear and tears. You can see the time in the format where you want to look at it, whether it's a 12-hour format, whether it's a 24-hour format, or if you want to have multiple time zone watches on a single device, you can have that. Not just that, in fact, you can track your daily calorie burns, how many steps you have taken from the morning. So there are lots of capabilities in the watches. And a similar way, earlier we had we had analog cameras where we used to capture the picture with the help of lens. Then that used to be embedded on the photo film. Then that photo film used to be chemically developed so that we actually see the picture or the photograph whatever we had taken. But and that is to take time. That is to take some amount of processing. But nowadays, if you we have digital cameras where instantly you can take a picture, or even you can record a video, and you can have a look at it, and you can zoom in, zoom out. Lot many functionalities available. So simply put, the moment we say digital, it is nothing but all about, or it's all about digit. And what's a digit? Digit is nothing but zeros and ones, or rather a combination of zeros and ones. This is a language which is which the processors understand, the combination of zeros and ones. So that's where we call it as digital. And moving forward to the second question, what is digital transformation? So as I said, we had analog watches, now we have digital watches. We had photo film cameras, now we have digital cameras. In the same way, earlier we used to write the message on the paper with the help of a pen. Then we need to put it in a post box. Someone used to come and pick up those letters. Then so someone will sort it out where each and every letter has to go. Then someone will actually carry those letters, transport either via aeroplane or a train or a ship or a bus. Then someone again picks it up, goes to the each and every individual houses and deliver the letter. So that's how it used to be. But now, what's digital transformation? It's nothing but the process where new technologies across the business are adopted to drive the fundamental change. As I said, if you look at the picture, earlier we used to write with the help of pen and paper. Now we can type it on a mobile, on a computer. If you want it, you can take a printout, or if you want to get it back into the computer, you can use a scanner and you can get it back. And the same way, earlier we had cassettes, side A, side B. You remember those old days or golden days where we just had to have 5 songs one side and another 5 songs on the other side. And if there is some problem, you have to take it out, use your pencil or a pen, right? Rewind it, fix it, then play it. But nowadays we have CDs, compact drives, and even compact drives are replaced by memory cards, pen drives, right? Hard disks. So where we can store millions of songs, or not just songs. You can store songs, you can store pictures, videos, you can store any type of files. So that's the power of digital. That's the digital transformation. So from something which was not so useful, which was terrible to use, now we have something which has eased the effort, less complicated, very easy, faster, better, cheaper. So that's what is nothing but digital transformation, changing or moderating something from its basic less user friendly state to a more better, more faster, more cheaper user friendly state. So with the help of new age technologies. So that's nothing but digital transformation. And answering the last question, what's enterprise digital transformation? It's nothing but enterprise transforming itself from older ways of working to newer ways of working with the help of technology or the new processes. For example, if you look at the pictures here, earlier we had our factory workers sitting on a conveyor line, right, or a shop floor, doing some particular job, then passing that material or good to the next level. Then the next person picks it up, then he performs his job, then it goes to the next level. So all that used to happen. So now if you look at it, we have robots. Everything can be configured. The way you configure, the way you teach or guide robots, it gets the job done for you. That's how the digital enterprises are transforming themselves digitally. And so it's not just replacing the manpower or replacing the complexity, right? In some of the areas, especially when you go to a large giant steel plants, it's very difficult to work in the temperatures, especially high temperatures. It's hazardous, right? Some chemicals may fall on you, something can burst, something can explode. There are difficulties. So with the help of robots, with the help of digital transformation, nowadays we are making the lives of human beings very simple, easy and valuable, and human beings can actually concentrate on the work where they have to channelize or focus their efforts. So that's how it is happening. And I'm sure all of you and every one of you would have at least visited a government office once in a lifetime, right? And if you look at it, how our previous or earlier days government offices used to look like. Dusted table with dusted folders, files, a few people sitting, few people moving around here and there. The moment you go and ask what is the status of my application, the person will say it is in progress, it is with table 3. And the moment you go to table 3, he will say no, it is with table 2. He will say no, table 5. So all those jugglings, um, the web spreaded formalities used to be there. But now if you look at it, most of the government offices, right, have the computers. So a person doesn't have to actually carry the file or folder and move to the from table to table. Just on a click of a button, right? You can send the file or the information or the message, whatever you want to share, with the person who is sitting next to you, or the person who is sitting in the office which is in front of your building, or to the office which is in the other city or the other country, in a matter of seconds. So that's the enterprise digital transformation, where we have changed, we have evolved from previous inefficient ways of working to a fantastic, super fast, right, super cheap, super better processes. So that's all about enterprise digital transformation, Susan.
Yeah, I mean, enterprise digital transformation is in fact, digital transformation is everywhere. We
Absolutely.
see it
And
everywhere in every part of our life.
yeah, to question to the audience here, right? Can you tell me a mass digital transformation which has happened or have seen in your day-to-day life? Any examples? Any one of you can give? Everyone have seen this, and everyone have experienced this.
All
A
the
simple one.
participants can use their chat box to maybe respond to that question.
Yes, that's one way. What I was telling is, you all know calculators, right? And the older ways of working. The moment you go to any shop, the shopkeeper used to take out the book or a paper or a pen. Then he used to calculate. Okay, 50 rupees for sugar, 30 rupees for the tea powder. The total is 80 rupees. All those things. But nowadays you go to any shop, irrespective of the domain, right? You go to a kirana shop, they use calculator, digital. You go to gold and diamonds, where you deal with lakhs and crores, right? They also use the same thing, calculator. So this kind of devices, right? They are mass transformational things. And one more example is your UPI payments. You just look at the way how you used to transact 5 years before and the way how we transact today. Everybody in fact uses phone pay, Paytm, Bharat Pay, so many, Amazon Pay, right? So that's the transformation, enterprise digital transformation.
I mean, it's everywhere. Literally, it's everywhere. So
Yes,
there definitely
absolutely.
should be a lot of benefits. Yeah. So could you please
Absolutely.
take us through some of the benefits of digital transformation, Nishant?
Definitely, definitely. There are benefits, when we go with digital transformation. And of course, the moment we say I'm transferring from one state to another state, right? There has to be something. There has to be some benefits. That's where we go. And definitely, digital transformation will also bring key and few distinct benefits. And let's take a look at those benefits. The first thing is it will increase the efficiency. What do you mean by efficiency? More work in a less time, more work in a less price, right? Or more work with a less resources. That's the efficiency. So the moment you go to digital, it will definitely increase your efficiency. It will definitely reduce the errors. It will definitely reduce the dependencies. That is the first distinct, benefit what we can see from digital transformation. The next one is reduce cost. When we say we are doing more with less input, that will obviously save cost for us. And the third thing is reduce complexity. We took the example of the government offices, right? Or the post, how we used to send the letters. Look at the complexity. Someone has to pick up, someone has to sort, someone has to travel, someone has to give, right? Lots of effort, time wasted. And what if a human error happens? Instead of sending the letter of Mr. Sham to Mr. Beam, blunder, lots of issues. So all this kind of complexities, jugglings can be reduced with the help of digital transformation. Then competitive edge. Let's say there are 5 players, there are 5 shops in your street, and one person is delivering the groceries or the items whatever looking at in a faster way, in a better way, in a cheaper way. Then definitely entire crowd will be sourced to the same shop, and rest 4 shops, right? There will be business. They'll not have the business. So the moment extent the to the impact you go with digital transformation, you will definitely start getting more and more competitive edge, and that's where you can be a differentiator in the market. And the next one is low cost of ownership. So earlier, as I said, we used to maintain the books, we used to maintain the files. How much it will cost you? Every year you have to buy, you have to store, you have to keep it in a safe place. But now with a small floppy disk or in a small CD-ROM, which will cost you just 20 rupees, you can store the same data for next 20 years. So low cost of ownership. The moment you move to digital, it will definitely have low cost of ownership. Then greater business agility, and ultimately it the business agility is one part, as we discussed. It's not just the business is getting benefited, right? It's the employees of the company, it's the customers, it's the stakeholders. Everybody gets affected, everybody gets impacted in a positive way. So everybody is saving, everybody are progressing. That's where it brings distinct or a key capability to the organization, where it can stand out of the crowd. So these are some of the benefits what I can talk about, Susan.
Yeah, that's great, Nishant. Thank you for all those insights. So, as an enterprise, how would I make the shift to digital, Nishant? Like, how can I, what do I need, and where, should I start this journey to digital? If I'm, at almost like at a point zero.
Well, again, a great question. So we see some of the customers, right? Or most of the customers, not some, most of the customers, when they come to us, they'll ask, we want to start our digital journey, and we want to automate end to end. We want to be on cloud, we want to have AIML, we want to set up data pipelines, we want to use augmented reality, virtual reality, we want to make use of IoT. So lot many things they start talking about, but that's not the way how we should be starting the journey. In fact, there are stages how one should start their digital journey. And let me talk about the journey as well in the next section. So we have a few stages here. The first stage is to know, where do we stand currently? What is my position? The moment I say this, right, usually what we do here is we will start the engagement with a consulting project, where we'll list down what are the current processes, what are the current interactions, who are the customers, how these processes are interrelated, how the business process works, how the operations are orchestrated, how they are maintained, managed. All these things we'll study. Then we'll see what is already digitalized. There could be something which is already digitalized. So what is that part? Then what extent it is digitalized? Because digitalization can be from 0 to 100%, or it's 0 to 50%. Where do we stand? These are the first two questions. Next thing, what can be digitalized with some modification? The moment if I modify my process with some changes, can I move it? Can I digitalize this? The third question. The fourth one, what I should not be digitalizing. Sometimes it is better not to digitalize something and continue the older ways of working. That is more beneficial for you. There are some cases like that. And the last one is what we cannot digitalize. I want to digitalize, but current technology or the my current position doesn't allow me to digitalize that. So these are the few things we should ask, and we should gather the details. The moment we do the assessment phase, then we get to know I have one to n number of workloads with me, and out of that only workload 2, 3 and 5 can be digitalized. That's fine, fair enough. Pick it up, and phase it up. Don't start everything at one go. The first thing is to try and test. First thing we have to do is the pilot run. So let us pick up these workloads and then go for the next stage, that is build. What exactly we do here? Now I know that some of the pieces of my work or some of my processes can be digitalized. Then I have phased it, I have scheduled it. We have to look at what are the core components which we have to start building first, so that on top of that rest of the things can be built around the core the core components, or the must have, should have components we should start with. Once we pick up that, then the next thing is how should that be a website, should that be put it in a server, should we use what kind of architecture we should use, what kind of front end we should use. And the moment we say digital, it's not exactly digital. I mean, purely should not, I should not think that it is only computer. Sometimes with the help of computer, with the help of processors, right, we'll control some machineries as well. So even that's part of digital, extended part of digital. So we should think what we can do here. Can we modernize some application? Should we rebuild something? Should we change the process? I have 100 processes. How logically they are interconnected from one to one? Can we group it? Can we categorize it? Right? So all this will be done here. Then we'll actually go for architecture. What process should talk to another process at what time, how frequently? All those things will decide architecture, system level requirements. What should be my performance? Do I need 5,000 concurrent users to be logged into the system, or it's just 50, or it's just 5? So all these things we will consider here, and we will start building the application. We'll start building the APIs or the models here. So that's what we do in the build phase. The moment we build,
just sorry to interrupt. Could you just put this probably in the context of like a real use case and maybe like explain, like, so that we get a little more clarity?
Okay, fine. So let me take the example of one of our key customer, what we have with the Nuvento. The customer is from retail, fashion and groceries industries. They have multiple outlets across the the continent. So when they approached us, similar thing as I told, right, they wanted to digitalize from end to end. And we started this engagement with a consulting project, and we did the same thing. We did value stream mapping, we did the process flow diagrams, Cyberpark analysis, all those experiments we conducted. We gathered the system level details, we gathered the process level details, we gathered how many customers they have and from what regions. All the informations we gathered, and then we come up with a complete overview or the modified business process for them. That was the first step. Then what we did, we again, as I told just now, we took some of the pieces of work, what we should be starting with. We started building some of the new applications for them, and also they had some presence in terms of digital. They had some third-party softwares for taxation. They were using some SQL databases to store some of the data. Some stores used to have Excels and PDFs to store some data. So some sort of digitalization was there. Then the next thing what we started doing is we picked up the applications which which we need to modernize. The applications which were built with the old technology, which are not relevant to the current scenarios, those things we started modernizing. We started building some of the new applications, and then we actually built a complete business process monitoring for them. So that's what we did in the build phase, and it's not just over. Though we have completed the complete journey for them, we still have many use cases to be built for them, and the work is still in progress. And let me continue with the next stage, and talk about what we did for this customer. Will that be fine, Susan?
Sure.
Okay, great. The moment we build something, right, the next thing is we should see, can we cloudify? And before even I talk about Cloudify, right? Why we should go for cloud? That's the very important question. I can manage the things with my local computer. I can manage the things with small server, or I can manage my business with some server stacks or some small data center. Why I should go for cloud? My answer is why not? Why not? Because if you are running your application, if you are running your business from a local computer, right, you always carry the risk of malware attacks. The hardware may fail, or you may lose the data. Somebody may steal the data, somebody may hack it, right? And usually if it's a local computer, we don't take the backups, the data is lost. And if somebody hacks the data, your data security, data integrity is compromised. There are problems with that. The same is true with servers as well. Even we have seen largest server attacks on the servers. What if there's a natural calamity? What if there's an earthquake? Right, your data center is a drone, or your data center is broken, or it has caught fire. There are issues. What and how best cloud solve all this problem? The first thing is cloud. You can access your application, your data anywhere from the world with the help of any devices. First thing. Second thing, you can store your data at one place rather than having on the local computer, some data on the server, some data on friend's machine. No, one place you can store your data and you can access it from anywhere from the world. Third thing, in cloud, constant backups are taken, so your disaster recovery is covered. Even if there is a fire in Bangalore, there's a data center in Kochi which will be up, still your business is running. And cloud itself will take care of 2 to 3 factor authentication or encryptions. And on top of that, if we want, we can build some more layers of encryptions so that your data is always secure. Third thing, next thing, in cloud you can restrict who can see what, who can access what. That's where we IAM comes into picture, identity and access management. All these things are taken care of. Plus, if you want to shift to a new technology, and if you're using a server, right, you have to purchase the server, you have to bear that cost. If you want to install a software, there is a cost. If you want to upgrade a software, there is a cost. But with cloud, it's matter of seconds. You want to upgrade to something else, for next 10 minutes, you can upgrade. After 10 minutes, you can again come back to the lower version. Pay per use, pay as you use. There are many benefits the moment we move to cloud. So that's where we have to move our applications or our softwares or data to the cloud. And what we did with the customer, what I was talking earlier, right? So the moment we built, right, first thing what we did is we modernized applications and we hosted them on the cloud. Second thing, we migrated all the data from various data store, various stores and various offices to the cloud. So everything is available on the cloud. And even if some of the computer goes off or server goes off, we have the backup. So that's what we did here on the Cloudify. The next step, what we did is assimilate. Now that we have set up the applications, we have moved them on the cloud. The next very important thing is to have your data unified in a single format or a standard format. So what we'll do here, you may have data. As you can see on the picture, you can get data from multiple sources. It can be from SQL server, it can be from Postgres, it can be from Excel file, it can be from PDF file, or you may get some content from Twitter, Facebook, or you may get some content from some of the other website. There are lots of variety of sources. And next, variety of data. Some data can be in text format, some data can be in image format, some can be in a video format, or some can be in a hybrid kind of mode. So there are veracity, velocity, that's what we call, right, when we talk about big data. So we have to unify our data and put it in one place. That's where our assimilate stage comes into the picture. What exactly we do here? We will ingest the data through a data pipeline, then we'll extract the relevant data, then we transform the data, because whatever data we get, right, that may not be available in a readily available shape. something, there could be some null values, there could be some, missing values, there could be some, garbage things which are coming up. So we need to, scrub it, we need to clean it, we need to standardize it, sort, change, standardize. That's what we do in the transform stage. Once we transform the data, then next step is to put it on a common schema or a common table. That's where we call, this is the this process we call load, and the output of this is nothing but your data lake. Within a data lake, again, you can create your different warehouses based on the region, based on the category of the product, based on nature of the business, multiple ways possible. And why you create warehouses? To access the data in a faster, better, and cheaper way. If I need a student data, I should directly go to one table and get the details instead of finding or digging the entire ground. So that's where the data assimilation stage is very important. And for the client, what I was talking about, we set up data pipelines. Basically, we build some connectors. The connectors will extract their data from various formats and various sources. Then the data is cleansed, it is standardized, normalized. Then we create a data lake for them. Whatever the data they want, they have it one place. And if they want to download some reports, it's just a button click. They can configure the reports, they can download the reports. And most important thing is, again here, if I have access only to a department, right, I will only see the data of that department. I will not be seeing the data of other department or the other location. So the data governance is taken care here. Data is secure, faster, better, cheaper, available anywhere and everywhere. That's the power of data, and that's the power of data assimilation. Okay. Next, once we have the data, why I should have the data at one place, and how I can get the benefits from the data whatever I have collected. Makes sense, right? Otherwise, what's the point of collecting the data, sorting it, storing it, putting it in one place? We should make use of the data, and that's where if you look at it, most of the data companies make money in billions today. So what we'll do here, I have the data. Can I see some seasonality? Can I see some I'm sorry, throat is not good. Can I see the seasonality? Can I derive some patterns from the data? Who is doing what? Who is doing good? Who is not doing good? What products are sold more frequently? Where my sales are going dip? When my sales are picking up? What is the stock I have currently in all the stores? How many times a particular customer buys what kind of item? Is there a relationship with item what he buys with another item what he's bought along with that? So lot many insights can be derived from the analyze phase. So basically what we do here, we do the exploratory data analysis. We build some interactive dashboards which are very sophisticated. These are live dashboards. The most important thing is these are live dashboards, because you remember we created the data pipelines in the previous stage. That means data is live, concurrent. Whatever comes in, the same thing is shown on the graph. The same thing is shown on the dashboard. Here we can see where we are doing good, where we are falling short, what are the areas of concern, where we should channelize more focus, so that we concentrate on them, we improve them, and we bring more efficiency or more profit or more ease of operations. It could be of any sort, right? But the most important thing is we're trying to spot the problems, we're trying to spot the best parts of our journey, and we're trying to expand them. That's where analytics phase brings the difference. Once we analyze, so this is all about our previous data. Next thing is, with the help of the same data, can we do something which will help us in our future business? That's where we step into the intelligence phase, where we build machine learning models, we build artificial intelligence models, which will help us to try some of the problems which a normal human cannot solve, or it's difficult to solve that. If you can look at the slide, AI solves some of the problems which are impossible for human. Let's say you have a data of 5 days. You can see the graph. The graph is going nice. You did next time you have a data of 50 days. Okay, still you can make out something. Next you have a data of 500 days. Okay, still we can see something. But the moment you take a look at a data of 5 years, right, your graph will become like small scribble of a kid. You can't make out anything out of that. That's where the machine learning or the artificial intelligence comes into the picture, where it will learn by the data of the previous era. It will try to figure out the rules automatically. It will try to predict the future. It will try to classify the things. It will try to assimilate the things. So that's where intelligence comes into the picture. And so in some of the cases, right, though human can do it, but it could be hazardous. For example, uh, we have never gone to Mars. A human being has never gone to Mars, and we don't know what is the condition there. If we go there, still we can make some decisions and we can take some calls if there is a SOS. But if that cannot be done, that's where AI/ML comes into picture. Whatever the orbiters and the satellites which have been sent to Mars, right? They have all used AI/ML, reinforcement learning. What if there's a storm? The moment the orbiter lands on the Mars, what if there's a storm? What should be done? Rewards, returns, that's come into picture. And we already spoke about hard to analyze, hard to code. One more example. If there are 10 rules, I can write. I can use a if else block. I can use case statement. I can code that 10 rules. If there's 100 rules, yes, still I can code it. If there are 1,000 rules, bit difficult, but still I can do it. If there are 10,000 rules, can you code it? Or is it optimal to code that? No. At that point of time, AI/ML comes into the picture, where you don't have to hard code anything. You don't have to code the rules. The model will automatically learn from the output and input. What is the relationship between them? What to do with a particular, when a particular input pattern comes, what actions to be taken, what not to be done. All this is learned by the machine learning. So here we can see here, we have rules which are rule-based decisions taken, and on the right-hand side, a model is learning and it is taking the decisions. So that's where we go for the intelligence phase. And for our customer, right, we have built some of the cutting-edge AI solutions, use cases. The first one is automatic queue management. The second thing is automatic replenishment. The moment a shelf is empty, there are sensors. It will count how many number of products are left there. It will take a count. It will send a signal to the control room, and immediately a person will come and load the missing items there. For example, we have to store 100 biscuits or 100 packets of biscuit, right? And only 5 are remaining. That means we have to replenish. A person will come and fill that rack with the biscuit bundles. Automatically we can do that. It will save time. It will improve customer experience. The moment you go and you don't see a biscuit what you are looking for, you will feel dissatisfied. But in this case, it will not happen. And the third thing, the forecasting system we have built. The next thing we have built recommendation systems. So what user is buying, what item, at what frequency, what percent of discount will boost him to buy more, and what is the relationship with items which are bought together. For example, the moment you buy tea powder, you will go for a sugar. The moment you go for a sugar, you will also look for a creamer. So these are some kind of relationship what we can understand barely, but there are few things which we cannot understand, but the machine will understand. For example, there is a classic use case from Walmart. Walmart implemented a recommendation system with the help of AI/ML, and they saw some beautiful results. First, I'll tell you, since we are running short of time, I'll just talk about one. They saw whenever a diaper packet is bought, right, there is an increase in sales in beer bottles. Do you see? Is there any relationship between diaper and a beer bottle? Definitely no, right? There can be a relationship between diaper and baby powder or a baby
No.
or baby shampoo, right? But there was a relationship. There was a relationship, and Walmart was surprised. How come what kind of relationship this is? And this is constantly happening. It's not seasonal. It's constantly happening. Whenever there is a high sales of diaper, there is a high sales of beers. Then they did a study. They conducted a study on that, and that revealed usually when parents are going through this phase of period, right? Babies are small, so they get stressed because the babies will wake up in the midnight. Lots of chaos at the home. So they prefer to consume a beer and get the relaxation. And that's where whenever the fathers, especially, were buying diapers, right? They used to carry a tin of beer. That's what it will do.
Okay.
So some of the interesting facts like this will come out with help of AML. With this, next, what's next? That is, we started with nothing. We started from nowhere to to a better one here. And what's next? Remember, there is always opportunity. There is always scope for improvement. And whatever few items, whatever we left in the first phase, right? That cannot be digitized. Maybe we can digitize now. The technology has evolved, changed, right? I'm sorry. So that's the phase, this is nothing but a continuous phase where we should ask what else can be digitized, what can be improved further. Is there a new way to bring in more efficiency? Is there a new technology available which can aid further? And is there a platform required to consolidate business process operations? If not one. And further roadmap and preparedness. So from here onwards, it is a continuous cycle, continuous improvement. So again, you go back to assess phase. Again, you pick up some of the items. Again, you see what can be digitized, what cannot be digitalized. Again, this journey continues. So this is how a round of digital transformation happens. I hope I made justice to explain the stages, Susan.
Process, like, great, Nishant. That's pretty insightful. But how can one plan and prepare for this journey? I mean, because it's a huge journey, and how can one plan, prepare themselves for this?
The first thing is we need to do the assessment, as I said, and we need to prioritize what will bring me immediate value, and what can I build on top of whatever I have built so far. So there has to be continuous incremental improvements. That's what we have to see, and we have to take this as seriously, because I have also seen, right, many people will come, I want to automate from end to end, they will be in full josh the moment they start, but after some time they lose focus. They say, no, our current focus is shifted to something else, we'll come back next month, we'll do it next year. All those things will happen. So there has to be a seriousness. There has to be seriousness. There has to be someone who will be there driving it continuously, rigorously. That has to be there. And we have to have the plan. That's very important. Unless there is a plan, nothing can be tracked, nothing can be progressed. And if there are barriers, we should not stop our journey. That's in then and there. Instead, we should see how we can clear those barriers. If this way is not working, can I go in this way? Can I go in this way? Right? So the journey should never stop. And we should also get the stakeholders involved here at the very early stages, get their buy-in, and explain them what are the benefits we are looking at. Because see, it all starts with a dream. The moment we stop dreaming, our life is end. A few years back when the movie came, Robo, right? Everybody said, wow, nice movie, but fantasy. I mean, it's a movie, right? It's okay. Nobody thought it will be a reality one time.
Yeah.
Today we have Siri.
Reality, yeah.
Today we have Siri, right? So the dream should be there. Spirit should be always up and high to drive this transformation, and we should be agile. The moment we say agile, it has to be iterative and incremental, so that constant progress is seen, and we're getting something every week, every month, or every quarter. We're getting something. We're improving something, and we should definitely set aside a definitive amount of fund for this, so that it can be driven with dedication and commitment. So that's what I would say, Susan.
Awesome. Okay, one other question that I have is, how can engineers prepare themselves to be enablers? So we can see in these different stages. we have seen how one starts, okay, then moves to the cloud, gets intelligent solutions done. Okay, how can engineers prepare themselves? Like, how can they upskill themselves? And what are some suggestions that you would give, engineers today? Like, how can they
Okay.
be prepared to be enablers?
Okay. Susan, if you look at the business or the market size, right? If you talk about AIML, it was somewhere around 25 billion last couple of years back. Today, even before closing 2022, we stand at 51 billion, and in next 2 to 3 years, it is expected to grow by 250 billion, from 50 to 250, fivefold growth.
That's like phenomenal, yeah.
Yes, that's about AIML. If you talk about the data industry, right? The amount of data transformations happening, the warehouses built, the lakes built. Uh, in fact, few companies had it, the larger ones, but now everybody want to, follow that direction, move into that direction. So that's where the data picked up little slow, but it has picked up, like a rocket nowadays. It started with last year, it was somewhere around 8 billion, and this year already it has crossed 70
Wow.
billion. 8 to 70 billion it has crossed, and next few years it is going to cross 350 billion. Because before we plan our AI strategy, it's very much important to plan our data strategy. So now the focus is entirely shifted towards data. Why I took these numbers is just to say, or just to let you know, there is lot of opportunities, lots of scope. Whether you take data, whether you take AIML, you take augmented reality, virtual reality, you go for IoT, anything and everything in digital space, right, has got enormous amount of opportunities waiting for you. But the thing is, who should be prepared for that? Now I see, many people, who will complete some course or certification from some of the institutes, and start calling themselves as a data scientist, or data engineer, or AIML architect. But that doesn't work actually. First thing is, you should know, it doesn't matter whether you have completed your certification from an institute, you have read it from web, you have read it, or you have gained that knowledge from one of your friend. Doesn't matter. Most important thing is your practical knowledge. You have to be hands-on. You have to know the domains. Unless and until you give a domain touch, your solutions cannot be pinpointed. So having the domain knowledge, having the practical knowledge, and continuous learning, you should keep your eyes ear wide open. What's happening? You should always keep sensing what's happening, what is new today, how I can learn from that, how I can make use of this new thing in my day-to-day life. So that's going to be very, very important thing, and that's going to be the key. Because the way AIML or these industries are going, right, every day there are minimum 5 to 10 papers which gets published. We had YOLO V3 earlier. Today we have YOLO V7 and V8. Very soon, just in a matter of 1 year, you have 8th version or 7th version. That's fast. That's how the industry is growing, and you have to keep the pace. You have to walk hand in hand with the speed the technology or the industry is running. That's very important. So that's what I would like to share with the students from this forum.
Thank you, Nishant. It was really insightful. I hope a lot of us have takeaways from that bit that you
Yeah,
shared.
yeah. I'm so
I
sorry.
would now
Throat is little unwell. So
understood, Nishant. Understood. It's okay. Um, I would like to now, open up for Q&A. Guys, whoever is participating, if you have any questions, you can send it on the chat so that I can ask them to Nishant. Okay, so we have one from Kane. Okay, and he's asked, and he says, I'm mechanical engineering into facility management industry with an experience of 26 years. How would AI ML be suited or benefited for me as an individual, and how would this benefit my field?
okay. So mechanical engineer from which
Into
industry? Which
facility management.
facility management. Okay.
Yeah.
So there are two things here, right? The first thing is mechanical engineer. There is nothing wrong, there is no hard and fast rule written that mechanical engineer cannot get into digital. Wrong thing. Mechanical engineer, civil engineer, even architectural engineering students, chemical engineering students, anybody and everybody can learn, digital technologies, can adopt them. First thing. Second thing, you are into facility management, right? Facility management also has a lot many use cases with respect to AIML. What we'll do in facilities, let me take a campus, a company campus, and some of the real life use cases I'm telling. Earlier, in facility management, to be the moment employees comes in, there is an attendance register. People used to sign on that. Next, we had RFID, right? Radio frequency IDs. So we'll swipe the card, the gate is open, we move in, move out. Next thing is your fingerprint, finger sensors came in. The moment you, put your thumb impression, the doors or gates will open. Now the face recognition has come. It is an application of AIML, face recognition. First use case. Second use case. In facility management, we need to maintain our cafeterias. We need to maintain the cleanliness. We need to maintain, some of the toiletries, stocks in the restrooms, the soaps, the hand wash, many things, we have to manage. So again, we have the devices now. We have IoT devices. The moment the stock goes down, it will send you a, signal. It will send you a message. Immediately, a person will go and replenish that. Second use case. Third use case, automatic AC control. The moment the temperature goes high or the temperature falls below the threshold, again it's maintained, because we use centralized ACs usually in the offices. So if I am using a room AC, then I can set a temperature 25 degrees, 23 degrees. But whenever we have centralized ACs, we often come across the problem of this temperature mismanagement. So like this, there are lots of use cases, lot many things which can be done with the help of digital technologies, with the help of AI. Definitely, you are welcome into this field. I hope that answers your question. In fact, during COVID, right? During COVID, it had become a headache for the companies. Government is saying everybody should wear mask, and government is saying there has to be a minimum distance between people. And on the other hand, there was pressure from other unions to start the offices, and employees wanted to come to the office. And there were few innovative systems which were built during the COVID. The first system is mask detection. If somebody is not wearing a mask, on the camera you can see who is not wearing the mask, and on the same camera you can see the AI model actually calculate the distance. What is the distance between person A and person B? Are they coming very closer? Are they maintaining the required gap? If not, absolutely. Immediately, call will be given to security nearby, and security used to run and say, "Sir, madam, please maintain distance. Sir, please wear a mask." All this used to happen, and it was in action, 1.5 year back. I've seen these things.
Yeah. Yes, thanks for that, Nishant. So we have another question from Suraj Kapan, who asks, what happens if something bad happens to the company that manages cloud and all our data are stored in the cloud?
What happens when
something bad happens to the company that manages the cloud and all of our data that is stored in the cloud?
Okay, good question. Usually when we go to cloud, right, we have options there. You can take the backup in the same region, in the same zone, on the same geo, or the intercontinental. There are specific plans. If you are okay with the data, then you can just go with one region or the one zone. If you want to store your data, I sometimes read Japan, for example, Japan is prone to earthquakes, frequent earthquakes and tsunamis. So if you are staying in that particular area, or your the data center or the cloud zone stays there, it's always better for you to opt for one more backup. And to be assured, cloud companies manage the data in multiple zones, multiple regions. If one goes down, another is up. So I don't see any chance where we lose our entire data. So that's already been taken care by the cloud companies, cloud service providers, whether it's AWS, GCP, Microsoft Azure, IBM, Alibaba. Everyone have multiple data centers in multiple continents, multiple cities, or multiple regions, zones, and they usually keep backup in 2 to 3 zones or regions. So rest assured, data will be safe, secure, no issues on that.
Awesome. Thank you, Nishant. Once again, we have one question again from Hema Deepak. She has asked, we have digitized attendance, accounts, and so on, but how do you integrate machine operational hours on production flow with the personal engagement?
Sorry, come back again.
We have digitized attendance, accounts, and so on, but how do you integrate machine operational hours on the production flow with personal engagement, personal people engagement?
So are you talking about factory setup, or are you talking about because see, when we say machines, right? Machine can be anything. Our laptop is also a machine. Our sieving machine is also machinery. So what kind of machines exactly you're talking about, so that I can answer?
Hema, factories. She's talking about molding machine.
Molding machine. Okay. See, usually molding machines, right? We have the design. And based on that design, earlier there used to be mechanical parts which which actually take that cast iron, then heat it up, pour it on a vessel, then press it or mold it. That's what used to happen earlier, and it was all manual. Nowadays, if you look at it, programming is done for all these things. And earlier, one more problem what we had is, if you are molding a particular design, right, you can only mold that particular design at least for some time, at least for one shift, or at least for a few hours. That was the constraint we had earlier. But nowadays, with the help of programming, there are various modes available. You want 2 modes of type A. This that pressure will come in. The hot cast iron is taken. It is pressed. The moment you get the order for another design, that will be printed, that will be molded. So that's how even the factory automation is shaping up, and it has shaped up a lot. Best example is Ford. I'll take the example from Ford. Henry Ford, right? He is the founder. He is the founder of Ford machines. He is the first person to adopt somewhat digital. He was the first person to adopt somewhat digital, but he was rigid. That was the problem, and that's where they paid. What they did is earlier, instead of assembling, molding, assembling, and making a vehicle from different plants, he is the first person who introduced the conveyance. Everything used to pass from one end of the conveyor to the other end as a finished good, or as a finished car. But the problem is, they had this problem. If you are manufacturing Tata Indica, you can only manufacture Tata Indica for next one shift, or for next one day, or 1 week. That was the restriction they had. But what Toyota did is, they took over that. They introduced something called just in time. They introduced concepts of lean. And what they did, you have orders for 2 Tata Indica. Okay, just 2 Tata Indicas manufactured. Next order you have for Innova car. So immediately, the molds, everything gets changed, and the same design and everything is printed. Then it passed on to the conveyor belt. So it's all happening because of the power of the programming. We have programmers, programming machines. We have digital screens nowadays. With the help of that, workers can look at it. What part is fixed, what is pending, what is missed. And if somebody forgets to fix some part, right, at the last part, at the QC, there are cameras installed now, which is nothing but AI/ML. The camera will take the pictures from all the angles. Then a machine learning model will detect: is there a hole in the mold? Is there a hole in the engine? Is the cast is of good quality? Is the crystals are tight coupled? Is there a part missing? All that is taken care of, and then it will be rejected automatically. So even the factories have adopted this one. And answering to your question, we have digitalized attendance registers, and how much of percentage people are working on the floor, right? It all depends on again your efficiency, because the moment I swipe in, I have 8 hours. Let's say I have 8 hours. In 8 hours, what is the productivity expected out of me? And you have already the number of finished goods available. You just calculate during my shift how many finished goods Nishan produced. If that is a matching your expectation, then I'm utilizing my time. If that is not matching your expectation, then I'm wasting my time on the conveyor. I'm wasting my time on the shop floor. That's how it is. Does that answer your question, Hima?
Almost, she says yes. So I guess we kind of have to wind up because we are a little ahead of our allotted time. So thank you everybody for participating. Thank you Nishant for walking us through this session, for explaining clearly the stages and how one can actually start off and then move to advanced stages of enterprise digital transformation. Once again, thank you everybody for joining. I hope you have a better understanding of how one can how enterprises can reshape themselves for the future of digital transformation through stages, and hope you have a lot of takeaways from this session. So wish you all a great evening, and once again thank you everybody for joining. Thank you Nishant for this awesome session.
My pleasure. My
Have a
pleasure,
great day
Susan.
everybody.
And thank you so much, all of you, for being part of this webinar, being connected with us. We look forward for some more opportunities to get connected with you. Thank you so much, Kerala IT, for having us hosted on this platform once again. Thank you. Have a great rest of the day. Take care. Bye bye.
Yeah, once again thank you Kerala IT team too. Thank you very much everybody. Good day.